Hello, today I'm going to talk about factors that will affect the chemical equilibrium. And before we start analyzing every single factor, we have to remember the Le Chatelier principle. What the Le Chatelier principle state? The Le Chatelier principle states that any modification and stress you introduce to the equilibrium will act in such a way to counteract the modification introduced. And in other words, we can say if we change any of the volume equilibrium, the equilibrium will try to restore the previous state where before the modification was introduced. Let's talk about concentration. All of them we have, all of the substance that we have here are gas, and that's why we are in the presence of homogeneous equilibrium. If we increase the concentration of monoxide, the equilibrium will shift to the right because they will try to reduce the amount that we introduce on the chemical equilibrium. By increasing this concentration, we are changing the equilibrium state, and then they will start producing more product. The same happens if you increase the concentration of hydrogen, the equilibrium will shift to the right. If we do that with the products, like increasing any concentration or both concentration can be one or both of them, the equilibrium then will shift to the left to minimize this modification. And keep in mind the following: the equilibrium constant doesn't change the value when you modify the concentration. That will be the impact of concentration change in the equilibrium state. Let's analyze pressure. Pressure only affect the substance that are in gas state, and in this reaction, as I mentioned before, is homogeneous and everyone is in gas state. The first thing is keeping in mind how many mole we have. We have 1 mole here and 3 mole here. So in total on the reactant we have 4 mole. And in the product we have 1 and 1, so we have 1 plus 1, that will be equal to mole. What happens when we increase the pressure of the whole equilibrium? So we are making more pressure on the equilibrium. The equilibrium will try to decrease the pressure. How? Going to the right, because on the right we have the small amount of mole. The less mole we have, the less pressure. So increasing pressure, the equilibrium will shift to the right where we have the less amount of mole. And then if we decrease the pressure, let me get my eraser. If we do the decrease of the pressure, what is going to happen? Okay, in this we have again 2 mole here and 4 mole here. If we get the whole system and make the pressure decreasing, the equilibrium will try to increase the pressure going to the left, because on the left we have more number of mole. That will be the way pressure will affect the equilibrium. And again, it's only for gas. You don't keep in mind or count the solid. If by any chance the difference in mole between products and reactant when are equal 0, so you have the same number of mole to the reactant and in the product, then the equilibrium will not shift to any direction, to the left, to the right, to the product, to the reactant. Only when delta N, which is the difference in number of mole of product minus reactant for gas only, equals 0. The next thing is temperature. Temperature will do the following. Temperature is the only one that will change the equilibrium constant. So for every temperature, we will have a different value of equilibrium constant. This reaction is exothermic, is releasing heat, negative heat. So what happened here? If we increase the temperature, we are favoring the reverse reaction because the reverse reaction is endothermic. The forward reaction is exothermic. So increasing the temperature will favor the one that is endo because you are increasing the heat given to the reaction. And if you decrease the temperature, of course, the reaction that will be the more favorable, the one that will make the equilibrium shift will be to the product when you decrease the temperature. Temperature go down, you are favoring the exothermic process taking place. And finally, the last topic will be addition of catalysts. Catalysts do not modify the equilibrium at all. Catalysts only make the equilibrium to be reached faster. So catalysts don't shift the equilibrium to the left, to the right. The only thing that happens is you will reach the equilibrium in a shortest time. So this is it for factors affecting equilibrium. Thank you for watching.